Hello everyone, my name is Steven Marketaros, and welcome to Kerbal Space Program. Today we are going to be reviewing all of the new parts and features that are included with the 1.0.5 update. Yes, I know, we were all waiting for the 1.1 update that would give us that full, new Unity support with the 64-bit processing and everything awesome that we need to make Kerbal Space Program one of the most moddable games out there. I'm not even sure why they need all of the extra 64-bit support just for the regular base game, because, I mean, at least for me, it runs just absolutely fine, I guess, for, slower processing computers, and it's a little bit of a downside. But, yes, we need to get into what some of this stuff is. So, yes, lots of stuff has been upgraded in the jet category, including these nice new large turbofan engines. Man, these things are an absolute godsend, especially since I was designing some of these larger planes like this and putting on 4 to 8 turbojet engines, just trying to get it to lift off the ground and go at a very nice and predictable speed. They also include thrust reversers, which will allow you basically to redirect your thrust in front of you so that it's easier for slowing down. It's very useful when you know how to use it right. Unfortunately, it was the first time I was testing it out, and it ended up exploding, crashing into the ground, bursting into flames, parts flew everywhere. It was spectacular. It's Kerbal Space Program. What were you guys expecting? Next up, we have some of the smaller jet engines that were featured. I never actually knew that there would be a use for little tiny baby jet engines. They're kind of adorable, but they're actually incredibly useful if you're making small, like, two-seater passenger planes. I didn't think that I could actually build a plane that used these small little jet engines, and the next thing you know, I've put way too much fuel on it, and it could basically fly around the planet 2 times. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. I was gonna have it like 4-seater, and then I decided, just 2 seats. It has some really nice windows. The interior is actually really nicely designed, within Kerbal Space Program theme. Here we go. We jump over to one of the other, I'm not sure how many of the planes I've already shown were developed in-game. This is the, I think, first in-game one I'm showing off today, in which this one is water landing capable. I know, I'm surprising all of you right now. You're probably not surprised because you've seen this in the YouTuber pre-update thing, which, I'm not a part of because I'm not famous and such stuff. But, yes, water is now not the most deadly object in Kerbal Space Program known to man. Water is actually a safe and reliable way to land your aircraft and space pods if you know what you're doing. Yeah, if you have no idea what you're doing, you are absolutely screwed. And I know this looks like a death dive right here, but it's actually it's a good plan that I'm going to use in order to bleed off some of that velocity before I hit and stall out and crash and kill. Was that Bill in there? Bill? I think that's Bill. I don't know. Bob, Jebediah. I kill all of them. I'm sure they won't actually mind. They can just come back because this is sandbox mode. Yes, but I do like this in-game craft because it shows off like the buoyancy of the empty containers, which you can now put on the bottom, which really gives you a use for those really small new 1.625 meter jet fuel tanks. Yeah, those babies, very, very useful. This whole new small engine craft has added all of these small little parts, and they're just incredibly useful for stuff like that. Just adding these small little fuel tanks that pop off here and there, tacking on stuff that you never thought that you would use before that now is incredibly useful. And surprisingly, being on the water is way more comfortable than I ever remember it being. The one time I actually did design a waterborne plane, it had to use those air intakes on the bottom because they have some really strange buoyancy properties that would cause them to bounce up and down and do all sorts of crazy things. I haven't actually tested to see if that has been fixed yet. I kind of hope it isn't. It's one of those features of Kerbal Space Program that it's just like, you expect it to happen. You expect like that one bug to be there every time. I also think that there was some tweaks to the atmosphere. I could be wrong on this. I didn't check the official patch, but I don't know. Atmospheric stuff just seems a little bit more refined. I can't explain it. It just felt a little bit different to be flying around. Stuff just felt weird. Maybe that's just me. They probably haven't changed it, and I'm just crazy. But yep, you can take off of water too, and your craft doesn't explode. And here we jump over to the, I don't remember the name of this one, but it's one of the new in-stock game craft things. It has an absolutely massive storage bay. Yes, the entire interior, the entire body is just one storage unit. You're asking, where's the fuel? Well, it's in those gigantic wings that have been in the game for quite some time that I didn't even know held fuel. And apparently those wings provide enough lift to get this thing off the ground. You see, if I would have built this, I would have added a heck of a ton more wing space because I really like my wing. Yeah, I have no idea how this thing's just running with 2 of those turbojet engines. But yes, you can stick little probes inside. There's that Mark III landing door thing. That little door. It's so cool. You know, I've actually been looking forward to that for quite some time. I thought it was never actually going to become a thing, but then it became a thing. I thought I was going to have to reinstall B9 again, but nope, it's in the stock game. Don't have to go out modding to get all the stuff I want. Yeah, so basically, if you want to run some long-term probe missions, you want to go halfway across the planet, then drop off a probe. That's like perfectly capable now. That's something you can do. You can just shoot it out the back and go bye-bye. And the really great thing is I'm pretty sure that they've expanded the range for physics ongoing in crafts. Because I remember, about 2.5 kilometers, it would usually cut out and one of the physics objects would delete. But in this situation, basically flew a whole 5 kilometers away and nothing bad happened. I was very impressed with that. Because that means you can technically drop a probe off the back, and then you can go and land the craft before the probe even hits the ground. Or even better, if you're that confident in your landing skills, you can still land with the craft aboard, and then just jump the probe off, go drive the probe around, and then when you're done, you can go back and drive the probe back into the craft, snatch up with the docking port. Ooh, that was a very strange word I used. And then you can take off and do whatever you want. And you can just go run gigantic exploration missions all around Kerbin. Get the pilots, get out, collect the data, store it in the capsule. It's basically one of the best ideas I think I've ever had. Maybe not. There we go. See, that was more proper usage of the reverse thrusters there. I was actually able to get it to land successfully. However, when the rover landed and I decided to go drive over to check it out, I discovered that it was rolling backwards crazily because I forgot to set the parking brake. Yeah, so never done that in real life. That would be very scary if your car was just randomly rolling away, or if your plane was randomly rolling away. I assume it'd be worse. Then I almost crashed the probe into the plane. And, yeah, basically just hilarity ensues after this. So, yeah, I basically wanted to discuss a little bit about the next update. It's going to include that humongous Unity bump patch thing. They're going to update it to a new version. It's going to have 64-bit support on Windows. I think on Linux it's already supported, because that's just how Linux rolls, but I'm not a Linux person, and I'm pretty sure the majority of people who play Kerbal Space Program play it on Windows systems, just because Windows systems tend to be more user-friendly. And so, with that, I just expect there to be a lot of improvements within the game, just on the performance edge of things, and, basically on the whole processing. Maybe distances for physics calculations can be improved. Maybe just, like, the physics stop being weird all the time. I have no idea. That is totally up to the developers. We'll see what they do with their new abilities that they can gather from that. And here we have the new Afterburner engine. Yes, I really like this new little jet engine. It is absolutely fantastic. It is just the most adorable little thing because it's got like its normal dry mode, and then it can just swap over into wet mode, and it's just like, I'm gonna kill you. But it's not, super powerful. It looks really deadly, but it's one of those things that isn't actually spectacularly deadly. And here we go to the final thing I'm going to be showing you today, which is that new gimbaling engine. Yes, it has 10 degrees of gimbaling on it. That is absolutely incredible. You could launch space shuttles with this. As I demonstrate here, I can attach a pretty large amount of fuel to the side of it, and it still flies pretty darn well, especially with the assist of those little stabilizers on the side, those little canards. And is absolutely fantastic. There's some stuff here that I'm not showing today, and that is some of the new redesigns of the other engines. I think that little radial engine had a redesign, and I think the jet engine, the basic jet engine, also had a redesign, and I think it was also renamed to something different. And yeah, those are some of the things that I am not going to be showing off today, simply because, it's almost better for you to find them out and look at them yourself. So yes, my name is Steven Marketeros. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time.